It is Thursday, July 30. Welcome to CGN News. The US-based Jamaican company Tasty Patties recalled 60,457 pounds of meat and poultry patty products as a result of repackaging, relabeling, and redistributing without federal inspection. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service, FSIS, the company included the mark of inspection of another federal establishment on the packaging of the products without proper authorization. The baked and unbaked frozen beef and chicken patty items were manufactured on various dates from September 2018 through July 2020 and distributed to retail and restaurant locations in Florida. The issue was identified during FSIS surveillance activities, where the regulatory authority determined that Jamaican Tasty Patties repacked the beef and chicken patty products without the benefit of federal inspection. On Tuesday, the Bahamas had 65 new cases of COVID-19, this according to the Ministry of Health. This has seen the government implementing 2 additional weekend lockdowns. A statement from the Office of the Prime Minister said that with the rise in cases of COVID-19 and after consultation with local health officials, it has decided to implement 2 additional weekend lockdowns. The lockdown, according to the statement, will begin this weekend, Friday, July 31, and will be in effect for all islands of the Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, where a complete lockdown is currently in place. On Wednesday, Hugh Faulkner was officially sworn in as Jamaica's new Commissioner of the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, for a 5-year term. Faulkner, who replaces Terence Williams, who demitted office, was sworn in at King's House by Governor-General Sir Patrick Allen. In responding to his appointment, Faulkner thanked the Governor-General for his encouragement and pledged to be guided by equity, fairness, and good character in executing his responsibility. Dozens of COVID-19 victims who have never been identified in Guatemalan hospitals had to be buried. A hospital in the capital is creating archives in the hope that after the pandemic passes, their relatives will come looking for them. Workers at one of the country's largest public hospitals have started photographing patients who arrive alone and too ill to give their personal details. Those who die unidentified are placed in body bags with transparent windows over the faces in case relatives finally arrive. Director of the Public Health Ministry's Public Cemetery Administration, Byron Fuentes, said that so far no one has come forward seeking any of the 41 men and 22 women they have buried, identified only as XX. NASA has launched its Mars Perseverance rover successfully and is now en route to the Red Planet, where it will search for signs of alien life. It took flight this morning atop a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket at 7:50 Eastern Time from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Perseverance, which is the same size as a large car and has 6 wheels, is also accompanied by an autonomous 4-pound, 1.8-kilogram helicopter called Ingenuity, which will study Mars's atmosphere. The initial launch date was July 17, and it was pushed back 3 times for various reasons before the agency settled on today as an ideal opportunity to launch the daily news reports. Any new applications for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA program, will be rejected by the Trump administration. Additionally, the renewal period for the program will also be shortened. The move, detailed in a memo from Acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf, ended a month of uncertainty about how the administration would respond to its Supreme Court defeat. About 650,000 people are a part of DACA, which allows young immigrants who were taken to the U.S. illegally as children to work, and it also shields them from deportation. Approximately 66,000 people meet age requirements to apply, according to the Nonpartisan Migration Policy Institute. Domino's Pizza has dropped a promotion offering free pizza to women named Karen after it was met with a backlash. In recent years, the name Karen has been used as an insult to describe white middle-aged women who are perceived to be obnoxious or racist. The pizza franchise's New Zealand arm initially said it wanted to give, quote, nice Karens a break from negativity, but some said it was tone-deaf, ignored more important issues, and rewarded privilege. The giveaway, titled, quote, calling all nice Karens, was posted on the pizza chain's Australian and New Zealand pages. It asked those named Karen to tell Domino's in 250 words how they were one of the nice ones. The Trump administration is planning to withdraw some federal security forces from Portland, Oregon after weeks of clashes with protesters. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf said the pullout was conditional on local police protecting federal buildings, the focal point of unrest, according to a BBC report. Oregon Governor Kate Brown said federal agents would start leaving the state's biggest city from Thursday. Portland has been rocked by 62 consecutive days of demonstrations. The security forces were sent there on July 4 to protect federal buildings that were vandalized during weeks of protests against racism and police brutality following the death of George Floyd, an unarmed black man in Minneapolis, Minnesota in May. Masked pilgrims arrived Thursday at Mount Arafat, a desert hill near Islam's holiest site, to pray and repent on the most important day of the Hajj, the annual pilgrimage in Mecca in Saudi Arabia. The global coronavirus pandemic, according to the Associated Press, has cast a shadow over every aspect of this year's pilgrimage, which last year drew 2.5 million Muslims from across the world to Mount Arafat. Mount Arafat is the place where the Prophet Muhammad delivered his final sermon nearly 1,400 years ago. Only a very limited number of pilgrims were allowed to take part in the Hajj amid numerous restrictions to limit the potential spread of the coronavirus. The Saudi government has not released a final figure on the number of Hajj pilgrims this year, but has said anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 would be taking part. All of this year's pilgrims are either residents or citizens of Saudi Arabia. When civil rights icon John Lewis is mourned, revered, and celebrated at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta today, he returns to a sacred place for many of those who helped to shape civil rights history. The arc of Lewis's legacy of activism will once again be tied to Ebenezer's former pastor Martin Luther King Jr., whose sermons Lewis discovered while scanning the radio dial as a 15-year-old boy growing up in the then-segregated Alabama. King continued to inspire Lewis's civil rights work for the next 65 years as he fought segregation during sometimes bloody marches, Greyhound bus freedom rides across the South, and later during his long tenure in the U.S. Congress. Lewis died July 17 at age 80. Former President Barack Obama is expected to address mourners, the Associated Press reported. President George W. Bush's office said the former president and First Lady Laura Bush will also attend. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.